Hi everyone, it's always a great joy to be able to come to your homes through this way of online teaching. I am Daud Ali from Shivjyoti Educational Group, your teacher for today's lesson. I hope you are having a good time, and if you are not, then trust me, you will have now. Because we are going to make this day, yeah, you're right, an English grammar day. But an English grammar day can be tough sometimes. So I need you to pay attention and listen carefully, because that is the key to make everything super easy. Ready, set, let's go. Chapter 21, page number 129, active and passive voice. In today's session, we are going to use both the presentation screen and the whiteboard, okay? So we are going to talk about active voice and passive voice today. In most of the languages of the world, there can be two ways of making conversation. There can be two ways of making communication. There can be two styles of talking: active voice and passive voice. Okay? I wear this shirt, active voice. This shirt is worn by me, passive voice. In both the sentences, I am conveying the same message. The message that I have conveyed is the same. The meaning is the same. But the style of conveying the message was different in both the messages. Listen, another example. I wear this tie, active voice. This tie is worn by me, passive voice. I am conveying the same message. When I'm saying I wear this tie, or when I say this tie is worn by me, both the times I mean the same thing. But the style of communication, the way of communication was different. Okay, this is active voice, and that was passive voice. We are going to go into the detail of it now, active voice and passive voice. And if you will pay attention and listen carefully, you are going to find it very easy. So worry not about anything. See this example. My mother tells interesting stories. Active voice. Interesting stories are told by my mother. Passive voice. So if you observe carefully, you will find out that first you just try to identify the subject and the object in the sentence. Can you do that for me? Yes, you can. My mother tells interesting stories. What is the subject in this sentence? Subject is the doer of the action, performer of the activity. So who is doing the action here? I believe my mother in the sentence is the subject, because she is the doer. She is telling the stories. She is performing the action. She is responsible for the verb. So my mother is the subject here. My mother tells interesting stories. My mother is subject. And interesting stories are object. This leads us to our rule number 1 for active and passive voice. When we want to change when we want to change an active voice sentence into a passive voice sentence, we need to follow. There are certain rules that we need to follow. All right. Rule number 1: interchange the places of subject and the object. Put the subject in place of the object, and put the object in place of the subject. I'm going to repeat it for you. Please pay attention. Put the subject in place of the object, and put the object in place of the subject. Okay? This is exactly what we have done here in this example. My mother tells interesting stories. My mother, subject. Interesting stories, object. We have applied rule number 1, interchange their places. Interesting stories. Can you see? Yes, interesting stories are told by my mother. My mother has taken the place of the object, and interesting stories has gone to the seat of the subject. They have interchanged the places. But what has happened here, this is also very important part of it. We should never change the tense of it. This the tense we need to see of the sentence. We are going to learn, and we are going to see so many other sentences to get into more depth of it. Let's see. But before that, you should know about the pronouns also, because when we will change active voice into passive voice, we need to keep in mind these pronouns also. Because see here, I become me. When we change a sentence from active voice to passive voice, I become me. We become us. You remain you. They become them. He becomes him. She becomes her. And it remains it. And if you will find a name in the sentence, the name will remain the name too. Okay? How will this happen? We are going to learn in the following examples. Simple present. See this sentence. She wears a hat. A hat is worn by her. So can you tell me the subject in the sentence? Can you identify the subject for me? Yes, you can. She is the subject in the sentence. She wears a hat. She wears a hat. She is the subject. And hat is the object. We have interchanged their places when we have converted the sentence into passive voice. A hat is worn by her. Why we have done this by her? Because we learned in the previous slide that she becomes her, he becomes him. So she becomes her, that's why she became her here, and we have changed their places. And I need you to see this example, the last one. Hira repairs the toy. The toy is repaired by Hira. They have interchanged their places. And see the tense. Which tense is it? It's simple. It's the case of simple present tense. We are going to understand it better. We are going to try our best to understand it better on the whiteboard. Okay, I need you to keep in mind the examples which I was telling you. She wears a hat. I know you remember this. You are all very brilliant children. I know you all. So try to identify the subject and the object in this sentence for me. She is the subject. A hat is the object. Okay? She is the subject. A hat is the object. Apply rule number 1. Interchange their places. They are going to interchange their places. And then we will get the new sentence of passive voice. And that will look something like this. A hat. Since they have interchanged their places, we are just following the rule number 1 here. A hat. She becomes her. We did learn it. We learned she becomes her. So they have interchanged their places. A hat, and here we have her. Alright? I'll tell you about this part. What happens here? We should never ever change the tense of it. See, this is simple present tense. She wears. So we are going to bring in a helping verb here. She is. A hat is. Then past participle. Past participle is the third form of the verb. A hat is worn. Plus by. A hat is worn by her. Okay? Interchange the places, rule number 1. Then rule number 2, bring in the helping verb according to the tense. Since the tense belongs to the present tense, we have brought in the helping verb, which is. Then we have added worn, past participle. Then we have added by and this. Okay? She is worn, a hat is worn by her. Active voice, active and passive. Okay? We are going to go through some other examples because I think this is not enough to make you understand the whole concept of it. So rule number 1, interchange the places. Rule number 2, bring in the helping verb according to the tense. Here we have simple present, so we have brought in is. Okay, then we have added, that is something we will always do when we want to convert active into passive. We always bring in the helping verbs and they are added, and we add with them past participle, third form of verb. then we add by if necessary, and then you know the interchange which took place. I'm going to show you another example. If you wish, you can pause the video and write it down in your notebooks. Okay, we will see another example which I told you to keep in mind. Hira repairs the toy. Alright, Hira repairs the toy. So I need you, this sentence is in active voice, active, okay? So I need you to identify the subject and the object in this sentence for me. Can you do it? I believe you can. Yes, please try, give it a try. Give it a try. I didn't hear you. Yeah? Alright. Hira is the subject. The toy is the object. Apply rule number 1. Interchange the places. Put the object in place of the subject and put the subject in place of the object. So it's going to now look something like this. The toy, Hira. We have interchanged their places to follow the rule number 1, you know, to score good marks in exams, to do good grammar work, and to be able to speak very good and fluent English. Alright? We have interchanged the places, the toy and Hira. Repairs, this belongs to present tense, simple present. So we are going to bring in a helping verb which will be is. The toy is plus past participle, third form of verb is repaired plus by Hira. Please pay attention on this sentence. Hira repairs the toy. We interchanged the places of subject and the object first, and then we brought in the helping verb, and then we added third form of the verb, then we added by, and that's how we have done it completely. The toy is repaired by Hira. Can you think of other examples on your own? Yes, you can, and I need you to practice this at your home. We have to see examples of other tenses also. This belongs to simple present. Hira repairs the toy. The toy is repaired by Hira. And worry not, for I am still here. We are going to see so many other examples to be able to better understand. It's a very important topic. Okay, if you feel like asking any question, if you have any queries, any doubt, then I'll be there in the live doubt session for you. We will talk about present continuous now. She is wearing a hat. A hat is being worn by her. So it doesn't matter which tense is it. In each and every tense, rule number 1 will remain the same. Okay? Interchange the places. Put the object in place of the subject and put the subject in place of the object. You're getting me, no? We have to just change their places. Okay? That is the rule number 1. In present continuous, this same rule will be followed. Alright? But there will be a slight difference here, which we will learn just in a while. A hat, she is wearing a hat is being worn by her. We have interchanged the places in passive. We've brought in a hat here and she became her, and then we brought in the helping verb and then being. This is very important. Never forget this. When it is about present continuous tense, obviously then we will have ing forms. And to replace, how do we replace ing forms? When we are doing active into passive and we are converting sentences from active to passive, we bring in we bring in being, okay, to replace ing forms of verb. See this next example, you will be able to understand it. Sarah is writing the letter. The letter is being written by Sarah. First thing that we did, we interchanged the places. Then we brought in the helping verb, present tense going on, helping verb will always be this. It depends on singular and plural. Since we have singular here, we are going to use is. If we had plural, we will bring in are, alright? And we will replace this ing form with being, okay? Now we are going to go on the whiteboard again to understand it in a better way. So are you with me? Please be with me, stay with me, don't go anywhere, because it's a very interesting topic and it's going to help you score good marks in exams, and you need to learn this topic. Sarah is writing the letter. Sarah is writing the letter. This sentence is of active voice, right? Active voice. Sarah is writing the letter. Okay, you might be wondering, how do you, how to make out, how to be able to find out, how to recognize what's the difference between active voice and passive voice. It is, I believe it's quite clear to you till now. But still, if there is any confusion in your mind, I'm going to tell you. In active voice, subject is doing something, and in passive voice, something is being done to the subject. That is the difference, alright? This performer, Sarah, is doing something in active voice, and in passive voice, something will be done to Sarah or by Sarah, okay? That is the main difference. But you know, you're going to, the more you will practice speaking English, the more every concept will become easier for you. So keep practicing speaking English, talk to your brothers and sisters and friends in English, because it is a very beautiful language. So, Sarah is writing the letter. Can you identify the subject and the object for me in this sentence? Can you do it? Can you do it? Yes, you can. I believe you can. You're all very brilliant and smart children. Sarah is the subject here, okay? Sarah is the subject. The letter is the object. Apply rule number 1. Can you do that for me? Yes, you can. Apply rule number 1. Interchange the places. Put the object in place of the subject and put the subject in place of the object. So the sentence is going to look something like this now. The letter Sarah. We have changed their places, okay? This is a case of present continuous. This belongs to present continuous. How do we identify present continuous tenses? We find ing form of verbs there. Here we have writing, okay? So when it is about present continuous tense, how do we change it? First rule applied. Second rule, bring in the helping verb, okay? We are going to bring in the helping verb. The letter is. Then we will replace the ing form with being. This is what happens in every present continuous tense case. This plus is plus being plus third form of the verb, past participle. This letter is being written by Sarah, plus by. So that is how we have done it. We have first interchanged the places, then we brought in the helping verb, then we replaced the ing form with being, then we added the third form of the verb, third form of the verb, past participle, then we have added by, and that's how it has been done. Children, always remember that this is something we are always going to need. No matter which tense we are doing, we will always bring in the past participle, which is the third form of the verb, to convert from active into passive. And that's how we have successfully converted this sentence from active to passive. Okay? Can you think of any other example? Sarah is writing the letter. The letter is being written by Sarah. The teacher, okay, let's see this example. The teacher is teaching the lesson. The teacher is teaching the lesson. What we will do in this case, same thing. Is will remain is, but this teaching will be replaced by being. Then we will add the teacher is the lesson is being taught by the teacher. Okay, we will do what we always do. The lesson is being taught by the teacher. The lesson is being taught by the teacher. So what we have done, we have interchanged the places, and then we have brought in the helping verb, then we have added being, then we have added past participle, then we have added by, and then that's how it has been done. The teacher is teaching the lesson is being taught by the teacher. Okay, I believe you will be able to succeed in overcoming all these problems. All you need to do is start liking and loving this beautiful language. This English language is the most used language in the world. You know, if you know English, you are never alone, no matter where you are. But no matter where you are, if you know English, this is such a beautiful language that you will find yourself never ever alone. We are going to talk about other tenses and other examples now. We will cover present perfect now, okay? She has worn a hat. A hat has been worn by her. What we have done, since it's the case of present perfect, we are going to use has been here. You remember we studied all these tenses before. When it is about present perfect, we use has been. See the example number 2. My brother has written this letter. This letter has been written by my brother. Let's go on the whiteboard. Okay, I need you to help me with this one, present perfect. Okay, my brother has written this letter. Can you try to identify the subject and the object for me? Yes, you can. My brother, subject. This letter, object. So apply rule number 1 and interchange the place. This letter my brother. Okay. Now help me with this part. Since it's the case of present perfect, what are we supposed to do here? We will bring in the helping verb, which will be, in this case, has been. This letter has been written plus past participle plus by. This letter has been written by my brother. I believe you are all finding it very interesting. Keep practicing it with me and keep helping me like this. The letter has been written by my brother. Okay, my brother has written this letter, active. This letter has been written by my brother, passive. Let's get back to the presentation screen again. I'm really enjoying this session with you, since you are all busy helping me and trying to understand this concept. Remember, children, we are all in this together. You are not alone. I am with you and I am trying to help you out. Simple past. We will talk about simple past now. She wore a hat. A hat was worn by her. Okay, you remember simple present? She wears a hat. A hat is worn by her. Simple past. Okay, here the form of verb will be changed. The past form of verb will be used. And when you see this, she wore a hat. She wore a hat. You should be able to know in your mind that this belongs to simple past. So this belongs to simple past. She wore a hat. And when it is about simple past, how do we change it? How do we convert it? We convert it like this. A hat was worn by her. Instead of is, in simple present, you remember, we brought in is as the helping verb. In past tense, we will bring in was as the helping verb because it's it belongs to simple past. A hat was worn by her. Alright? We have finished our talk on simple past. Now we are going to talk about past continuous. This is just like present continuous, but we are going to follow the rules just slightly in a slightly different manner, because it belongs to obviously past tense, and we will use the past form of verbs. Okay, see this example. His friend was distributing sweet. Come with me to the board because I need your help. Okay, I cannot do this alone without your help. Please help me in this sentence. Past continuous. His friend was distributing sweets. His friends was distributing sweets. Okay, in this sentence, can you identify the subject and the object for me? Yes, you can. You are all very intelligent and brilliant children. His friend, okay. Subject, sweets, object. Sweets were being distributed by his friends. Rule number 1, we changed the places. Rule number 2, we brought in the helping verb. Rule number 3, for this ing form, we brought in being, and then we added finally the past participle, which is the third form of verb. If you feel like asking any question related to the topic that we are studying today, feel free to ask me later in the live doubt class. I'll be very happy to answer. Alright, we are going to go back to the presentation screen now. To move forward, we have past perfect now. This is okay. Let's see this example. The potter had made the pots. The pots had been made by the potter. You need to keep in mind this had been. For past perfect, we will bring in had been, and this is not very difficult. All you need to do is practice. You need to practice exercises in your books, and you need to make conversations. When you make conversations also, then that is the way, that's a great way of learning. So the more you will speak English, the more you will learn. The more you will do the exercises of the English grammar, the more you will learn. Okay, so we are going to see this example. We are going to, should we take this example with us to the whiteboard? Should we? Okay, we are going to take this example with us to the whiteboard, and thank you for coming with me. I am going to need your help. Although it's not very difficult. Nothing in the English grammar is very difficult. Past perfect. The potter had made the pots. The potter had made the pots. Please help me with this. Identify the subject. Okay, subject. Identify the object. Object. Change the places. Okay, changing the pots. The potter. Now fill in this place. Now please I'm going to need your help to fill in this space. Since it's the case of past perfect, what should we bring in? We will bring in had been. Always, always, always and forever. In past perfect, we will bring in had been. Had been plus third form of verb, which is the past participle. The pots had been made plus by. Had been made by the potter. The pots had been active. The potter had made the pots. Passive. The pots had been made by the potter. Alright? Okay, let's get back to the presentation screen. I hope you are really enjoying the session and finding it interesting. We will talk about this again later in the live doubt session later. So don't worry about anything. If you are not understanding, if you're finding any major minor thing difficult, we will again talk about it in the live doubt class. I will finish the lecture by 5 o'clock. Simple future. We are talking about simple future. Now we are in the arena of simple future. And you are with me in this. We are all together here. Let's see how we are going to face this one. I will finish the lecture by 5 o'clock. We are going to interchange the places. Number one, the lecture will be finished by me by 5 o'clock. Okay? See this example. She will wear a hat. A hat will be worn by her. So it's not a big deal. It's also very easy like all the other ones. We will first interchange the places. Then we will bring in will be plus past participle plus by. Okay? See here. I will finish the lecture by 5 o'clock. The lecture will be. Interchange of subject and object done. Then plus will be. Since we are talking about simple future. Plus will be plus third form plus by. Alright, that's how it's going to go. We will talk about the next one. Future perfect. She will have worn a hat. A hat will have been worn by her. So wherever you find this perfect, let's see, past perfect, present perfect, then keep this in mind. This have been, has been, had been, you will have to use depending on the singular and plural, okay, and on the tense also. So since we have future tense here, will have, will become, will have been, okay, we will bring in will have been, then we will add the third form of verb, past participle, then we will add by, and then the interchange which we already did in the sentence. All right, please be with me throughout the session. We are going to follow this exercise. We are going to try to solve this exercise. It's in your book, right there in your book. Take out page number 131. It's a very interesting exercise. We are going to solve this. Complete this paragraph by filling in the blanks with passive forms of the verb in brackets. One has been done for you. Which one has been done for us? Obviously, the first one. The shops in this area are closed on Saturdays, but they are kept open on all the other days. Why we have used are here, why we have brought in are as the helping verb, because we have plural here. They are kept open on all the other days of the week. They are visited by the regular customers who are greeted politely. We are continuously talking about plurals. That's why we have been bringing in the plural form of helping verb are. They are visited, they are visited by regular customers, plural, so who are greeted politely by the shop owners. The customers, since customers as plural, the customers are shown the different items on display, and they plural are permitted to pick and choose the things they need. I believe you can do from here to here on your own. All the best. We will talk about next exercise now. Rewrite these sentences changing the voice. One has been done for you. Which one has been done for us? Obviously, first one. A pumpkin pie is being baked by mother. Mother is baking a pumpkin pie. Okay, this is in the passive voice. We have changed it. We have converted it into active voice. Let's see the second one. Rita is doing her homework. This is, can you identify? This is active voice or passive voice? This is active voice or passive voice? This is active voice. Why? Because Rita is the subject and she is doing something. And she is doing what? She is doing her homework. Rita is doing her homework. So are you going to help me with this as you have helped before? Yes, children, please help me. Rita is doing her homework. Interchange the places. Her homework is being done by Rita. Okay? Her homework is being done by Rita. We have done it the same way as we were doing on the whiteboard before, okay? The newspaper is being read by Uncle. This is in the passive voice. We have, how do we, and this is in the passive voice, and this is the case of present continuous. This was also the case of present continuous. How do we identify? We see this ing form, and wherever, and this also belongs to the present tense, ing form. So this belonged to the present continuous. That's why we brought in being, okay? Her homework is being done by Rita. This belongs to present continuous. Why? See this being here. This is in the passive voice, and we are going to convert it into active voice. The newspaper is being read by Uncle. Uncle is reading the newspaper. Okay, I believe you can do the rest of them on your own. All the best, and if you find any difficulty, I'll be there for you in the live class. Okay, changing imperative sentence into passive voice. There are some imperative sentences are those sentences that we use to order, to request. All right? When we want to command, when we want to request, that's when we use imperative sentence. And they look something like this. Hold the door open, active. And there is a different way to convert them. Let the door be held open. In most of the cases, we bring in this let, and that's how we change the sentence from active to passive. Hold the door open. Let the door be held open. Please close the window. We are requesting here. You are requested to close the window. Okay, this is active and this is passive. We are going to try to solve the next exercise. Rewrite these sentences, changing the active voice to the passive voice and the passive voice to the active voice. One has been done for you. You are advised to drive the car cautiously. Drive the car cautiously. From passive, we have come to the active. The fan should be switched on. The fan should be switched on. Can you try to solve this problem for me? I'm going to need your help in this one. Can you try to switch on the fan should be switched on, okay? Switch on the fan. That is the right answer of this. Let's see the third one. Don't tamper with electrical gadgets. Do not tamper with electrical gadgets. Electrical gadgets should not be tampered with. Okay? I believe you can do the three of them on your own. All the best. We will talk about in detail. We will discuss all of them later in the live doubt class. We'll be very happy to answer all your queries. Rahul is planning to construct his own house, and he gives a few instructions to the builder. The builder makes a note of all the instructions in the passive voice. Use these groups of words to form instructions in the passive voice. One has been done for you. So do not ever be afraid of the size, since it's a very lengthy, it doesn't mean it's very hard. Alright, we are going to try to solve it. House designed by a good architect. This has been, this is not perfectly set. This has been kept in random, maybe the questions, and we have to arrange it and put them properly in either in active or in the passive form. The house is to be designed by a good architect. The construction complete within 3 months. The construction should be complete within 3 months. And 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 are the ones for your homework, and we will discuss them in the live doubt class. So before we end today's session, I need you to repeat something after me, okay? Raise your hand like this and repeat after me. English grammar is very easy. I am not afraid of English grammar. God is with me and I will overcome. This is it for today. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you very soon again. God bless you.